Today, we will learn about failure mode and effect analysis, also called as FMEA. FMEA is a risk analysis tool which will help you to identify what are all the possible failures that can happen whenever you change the design of your product or any of the process parameters. We will analyze in detail what are the causes which are creating this failure, what are the possible impact, so that we will be able to identify some proactive action so that the risk of failure can be totally eliminated or can be mitigated to a great extent. I will explain this concept of FMEA by giving an example from my own professional life. Initially, I was taking the training in the classroom mode, but soon I got an opportunity for taking the training in online mode. So here the change in process was changing from the classroom to the online mode. So for this, the requirement was to provide 8 hours of uninterrupted training to the participant. And if you really analyze what are the possible failures that can prevent me from meeting this customer requirement, the possible failure modes are the internet failure, the sudden laptop crash, sudden health issues, hardware or software issue, so these are all some of the possible potential failure modes that can prevent me from meeting the customer requirement of providing 8 hours of uninterrupted online training. So now let us take only the failure of internet failure and see how the FMEA can help you to solve this particular problem. So the identified failure mode here is the internet failure. And if you really try to analyze what is the impact of this failure mode. So what is the impact of this internet failure will have on the meeting the customer requirement of providing 8 hours of uninterrupted training. So as soon as the internet fails, then I will be totally disconnected from the participant and I have to either postpone or cancel my training. So if I give a severity rating in the scale 1 to 10, if the impact is going to be very high, I give a rating of 10. If the impact is going to be very less, I give a rating of 1. So for the internet failure, since the impact is going to be very high, I give a maximum severity rating of 10. Then once I have given the severity rating, then I'll have to analyze what are the possible causes which are resulting in this internet failure. So one of the major possible reason is the service provider issue. So currently I am getting connected to my internet by the Airtel broadband. And if there is going to be a problem in this Airtel broadband, then my internet connectivity is going to be affected. The second possible reason for the internet failure is a power failure. So as soon as the power fails, the modem is going to be disconnected. And if the modem is going to be disconnected, I'm going to be disconnected from the participant. So the possible causes which are resulting in this failure mode are the service provider issue and power failure. Once I have identified the causes, then I'll have to find out how frequently these causes are happening and give an occurrence rating accordingly. If these causes are happening very frequently, then I give a rating of 10. And if these causes are happening very rarely, I give a rating of 1. So as far as the service provider issue is happening, in my area, this happens maybe once in 3 weeks or so. It is neither too frequent nor too rare. So I give a rating of around 6. Same way for the power failure, it happens maybe once in 4 weeks in my area. So again, it is neither too frequent nor too rare. So I give a rating of 5. So I have given the occurrence rating for both of the causes. Once I have given the occurrence rating, then I like to evaluate my current control mechanism. So what is the mechanism I have? Either to prevent these particular causes being happening, or in order to know it very early so that I'll be able to take some alternative actions. So if I analyze the service provider issue, then I don't have any mechanism for preventing this problem being happening, or I don't have any mechanism for detecting it early. So currently I'm sitting in front of my modem. I'm finding that all the 7 green lights are glowing. I know that internet is okay, but suddenly only one green light is stable and one is blinking, others are switched off. Then only I know that the internet failure is there. So that means I don't have any mechanism for preventing or knowing it very early. So I give a detection rating of 10 because I don't have any preventive mechanism or detecting it very early. Same way for the power failure, currently I am finding that all the 3 lights are glowing in the main power panel, but suddenly all the 3 lights are gone. Then only I realize that there is a power failure. So that happens suddenly without any warning, and I don't have any mechanism for preventing it. So I give a reduction rating of 10. So once I have given these values of severity, occurrence, and detection, then I'll have to calculate a value called as a RPN, which is the risk priority number. So I just calculate this value by multiplying the values of severity multiplied by occurrence multiplied by detection. So for the service provider issue, then the RPN will be 10 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 10, that is equal to 600. And for the power failure issue, the RPN will be 10 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 10, that is equal to 500. So the minimum RPN value I can get is 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 1. And the maximum RPN value I can get is 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10, that is equal to 1000. So I have got the RPN values of 500 and 600. So that means these risks are slightly higher on the higher side. So once I have calculated the RPN values, then like this, I just find out the potential causes for all of the other failure modes, like the laptop crash or health issue. And then I arrange all the causes in the descending order of the RPN. Then on what of the causes I'm going to take action, it is left to the person who is doing this FMEA analysis. So the person may decide that he would like to take action on the top 5 causes for which the RPN is high, or the top 3 causes, or for the causes where the RPN is more than 700, or wherever the RPN is more than 500, or for the failures wherever the severity rating is 10, or wherever the occurrence is 10. So like that, on what are the causes we need to take action, it is decided by the person who is doing the FMEA. Then we just take action on those causes, and then again we just calculate the RPN. For example, in this case, for the service provider issue, I took action on going for a different mode of the internet connectivity, that is through geo mobile data. So that whenever there is any problem in Airtel broadband, then immediately within 30 seconds, I will be able to move to geo mobile data, and then with the minimum interruption, I will be able to continue the training. And same way for the power failure, I went to the inverter. So before doing this exercise, I was not having inverter, but after doing this exercise, then I just went and bought an inverter, so that whenever there is a power failure, immediately my power gets connected to the inverter. And most of the time, I don't even realize that there is a power failure at all. So once these 2 actions were taken, again, I just recalculated the RPN. So again, the internet failure, the severity rating remains the same as 10, because as soon as there is internet failure, the service is going to be disrupted. So I give a rating of 10. Occurrence, again, for both the service provider issue and the power failure, again, there is no change in that. Again, that is remaining at 6 and 5. But as far as the detected rating is concerned, now whenever there is a service provider issue, then I have got an alternative. That is I can go for the geo mobile data. So I have got a preventive mechanism so that I can reduce the impact of the particular failure happening. So I give a detection rating of 1. Same way for the power failure, as soon as the power fails, then immediately I will get connected to the inverter so that I have a mechanism for minimizing the impact, bad impact. Again, I give a detection rating of 1. So I recalculate the RPN. So for the service provider issue, that is 10 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 50. And for the inverter, again, that is equal to 10 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 50. So before doing the FMEA, my RPN was very high, but now after doing this FMEA and taking some proactive action, then my risk level is very much reduced. So FMEA is a very powerful risk analysis tool so that you will be able to identify what are the possible failures that can happen. Then we'll be able to take some proactive action so that the risk can be totally eliminated or can be reduced to a greater extent. Thank you.